I spent 5 minutes playing with my chroma key so I could wear this for the video, even though I literally could have just gone back to my room and switched out a shirt. But it works now. So I'm wearing green while also having a green screen. Totally unimportant. So as of recording this, it is the night of April 13th. If this goes the way that I want to, it should come out on Sunday. So hopefully that's true. But I am undertaking a Rina Kent reading challenge. Last week when she released the news that she was pushing up the release date for God of War, the original release date was like late August. She pushed up the date till June. And I had this plan all along that at some point I was going to work in reading all of the Rina Kent universe to get ready for the launch of God of War in August. And when she announced that she was pushing up the date, I was like, oh crap, I've got a lot less time to read all of these books in this universe in order to get ready. So if you have never read Rina Kent before at all, I'm going to show you all the books that I need to read, starting from the top: Cruel King, Deviant King, Steel Princess, Twisted Kingdom. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but it keeps going. And it keeps going, and it keeps going. That's 35 books, technically 33. I think, there's a few of these books where you don't actually need to read them. Like, I think this one is one of them. Like, Dark Deception is actually the first 5-ish chapters of Vow of Deception. So technically I could have taken that out. The same thing with Yellow Thorns. And then Rule of a Kingdom, that's why it says number 0, because you can just read these same first 5 chapters. It's the first 5 chapters of this, is what I've been told. But still, 35 books, or, 33, 32, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, when I found out the news, I think I was in the middle of reading a book when she dropped the news, and I was like, okay, let me finish this. So I had to speed read the book, finish that last book that I was reading. It was King of Greed by Anna Huang. But I finished it, and I was like, okay, on the 4th, we're going to start this reading challenge. So from the 4th of April to the release date, June 13th, that was actually 75 days. And I had this stupid idea that I was going to do a 75 hard challenge, but incorporate more reading. If anybody is unfamiliar with the 75 hard challenge, they also have a 75 soft challenge now. But basically, it's a workout challenge where you work out for 45 minutes 2 times a day. One of those times has to be outside. You have to eat healthy, no alcohol, just pure clean eating. And then you read 10 pages of a self-help book. And then the 75 soft challenge is similar to the 75 hard challenge, but it's just a little bit lighter because some people find the 75 hard challenge to be a little bit too hard, which I totally get, because I also find it semi-difficult to find time to work out 2 times in a day, and also to find time to do outside exercise, especially because I live in a climate that has an actual winter, so I would not be dragging my butt outside in the winter time. I just wouldn't be. And then if you work out twice a day for 45 minutes, then you'd have to take 2 showers every day, theoretically. I don't know. I sweat a lot. So it adds a lot of time for anybody that has other things to do. I don't know. So the 75 soft challenge is kind of a lighter version than that. So I thought it would be funny to do kind of my own 75-day challenge, but a Rina Kent version of that. So if I upload this on the 14th, I'm intending to, then this will be day 60. So 60 days left until the release day for God of War. So the idea is that I will complete my activity goals. This is the exercise portion of it. So I have my watch set up to track my steps. So it's going to be 10,000 steps a day. 60 minutes of exercise, and then 400 active calories burnt. Now that I think about it, I feel like the number is actually 450. Why do I feel like it's 450? It might be. I might have to change that. But completing that every single day, and then literally just reading as much as possible. I am someone who can read on the treadmill. Like, I can read while walking. I can read in the car. It doesn't give me a headache. So I will read while I'm walking on the treadmill. And obviously I'll read outside of that. But it just gives me an excuse to kind of read and also get exercise, because I'm liable to sit in my library all day and just kind of, rot a little bit. So this is just encouraging more exercise for me. So the red marks on here indicate that I have completed the activity for the day. So this is what I have completed so far. So every time you see like the title of a book, that's the day that I started the book, and you can assume that I finished the book when I started the next book. I legitimately, I will finish a book and then open the next one so I don't fall into a reading slump. It hasn't happened to me yet. So you can see that I was reading very, very fast. Monday was a weird day for me, because on Monday I not only finished Steel Princess, but I started and finished Twisted Kingdom, and then started Black Knight. And reading all of those books all together, it was the very first time that I've read a book and was like, man, this is actually like a lot of spice, like even for me. And now that I'm looking at the graphic, I'm realizing it probably was like a tolerable level of spice, but I read everything so fast that I didn't get a break like all day. So that's interesting. Vicious Prince was actually a pretty small book, but I was just really busy those 2 days, so I didn't get a lot of time to read. And I started Ruthless Empire today, because today's the 13th. I am 27% in. If I really push myself tomorrow, I might be able to finish it. And then I'll start on Reign of a King. Yes, Reign of a King, Rise of a Queen, Royal Elite Epilogue. And I'm really sad that the suggested reading order is to read the Reign of a King, Rise of a Queen before the Royal Elite Epilogue. I'm sure there's a purpose to it, but I so badly just want to see like the first introduction of Everybody's Kids, because I did start reading the Rina Kent universe originally. I started with God of Malice because my friend like said that you could read them, like technically they're all standalones, but just knowing the parents is going to add so much more depth when I get back to here and read all of these books again. Now that I'm done with these ones, technically I only need to read the parents of anybody involved in these. I will just be reading it straight through because I like to know the whole completed story, but I do know that there are some people in here that don't have any, like, they don't show up in any of these books, or they don't show up in a way that's really going to matter at all. So I could like pull out some books, but at this point, with how much I've read so far and just everything that is happening, I'm planning to read all of these. If for some reason like I just really mess up, I might start pulling out books, but as far as I'm aware now, I think that I'm making pretty decent time. Like I think I can do this in 60 days. I think that's doable. I don't know. This might be crazy. This is definitely the fastest I have ever read books. I think this month, this is my Let me check. So according to this, I have read 9 books this month, whether or not you're counting King of Pride, because I technically did start that on March 31st, but I finished it in April. I couldn't tell you what percentage I was at when I started reading it on the 31st. So 8 or 9 books this month, and we're at the 13th. The highest amount of books that I've read in a month has been 10. So I read 10 throughout the month of January, and also in December of last year I read 10 books, and I started on the 11th and I read 10 books. So also had like a shortened timeline, but I was also on winter break, so made it a lot easier. Okay, just counted. I have 24 books that I need to finish in now 60 days, which is, I can't do math, but basically I have 2 days and a little bit extra per book. And that's assuming all of the books are about the same size. That's the time frame I'm going for, and so far I have been keeping up with that. So about every 2 days I start a new book. So this is surprisingly completely doable for me, which is ridiculous because I thought there was no way in hell I was just going to start cutting books like left and right and then just figuring out the rest later. I will say the hardest part about this challenge has been legitimately just walking 10,000 steps a day. That might be kind of silly, but my full-time job, I typically am doing a lot of like office related work. We do have standing desks, which is really nice, but even working at a standing desk, it doesn't mean that you're getting steps. You're just standing instead of sitting, which is like better for you. I won't deny that. But a lot of it is just me coming home and then going downstairs to my treadmill and just like walking for like an hour straight just to hit that 10,000 steps. It's been surprisingly exhausting. I don't know if that makes me sound very, very lazy, but I'm so tired right now. I feel like, one, it's past my bedtime, but two, I'm just exhausted. So every time I go to sleep, I wake up and I'm even more tired. And it's not helpful to exercise when you're like extra tired, but I'm like, this is the challenge. I just need to keep going. I am going to try very, very hard to stick to the schedule. I'll post updates to like TikTok probably, and then, maybe I'll post like a video in May to talk about my progress, or I'll at least talk about it when this challenge is over. But yeah, that is my plan. If you've got any ridiculous goals, reading or otherwise, that you want to let me know about, please do. I think that these challenges are kind of ridiculous, but kind of fun. I don't know. I tried to gamify my life and I think it's working a little bit, but I gotta stick to it. Usually I'll make these challenges and then I'll give up. But this time I actually do have a goal to work on, and I feel like I've been really diligent about sticking to this challenge because no matter what, God of War is going to come out whether or not I read all of the books. And I do want to read God of War on release day. So I'm kind of like needing to stick with this challenge. I feel like other challenges that I've done in the past, like there was no motivation because at any point, like I could start a 75 hard challenge, but there was nothing keeping me on track. Like this is very much keeping me on track. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.